So I'm super irritated. Like, it's a video I just shared, or a video going around about from some group where people are saying like, oh, if you're a big girl, guys come to you for security, or they come to you for whatever, if you're a big girl or whatever. No, they don't. Like, big girls do not, like, I hate that fucking narrative. Like, I truly hate the narrative of people making it seem like guys just come to big girls for security, finances, and shit like that. We don't spend money on niggas. Let me say that. We don't. Like, we spend it on our boyfriend, but, like, at the same time, too, like, I am so sick of this narrative of making it seem like if you're a big girl, like, you just got good credit, you got money up depth, you got everything going, like, you just ready to just spend money on a dude just because you're a big girl. Like, it's so frustrating, that narrative. And then it's really frustrating because it's a woman that is sitting up here like promoting that, oh, guys, when they're not financially secure, they go to big girls or turn to big girls to get like stability. Like, we don't spend money. Like, I've always been a big girl. And I'm kind of a big girl now, too, because I'm, like, always been big. I'm tall. I'm 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". And I'm, like, right now I'm, like, 220 pounds. And I'm usually, like, about 210 or whatever. But I'm noticeable. I am a big girl. I'm a fluffy girl or whatever. But this narrative of making it seem like if you're a big girl, like, you just gonna cash out on a nigga, or you just gonna, like, you just open game and you just ready to spend money on niggas, and just because you insecure or you have issues with being a big girl, it's total bullshit. Like, I don't know what bitches or nigga or people have put out this narrative of making it seem as if you're a big girl, like, you just off the dribble ready to like cash out a nigga just to have somebody in your bed because you're desperate. We get more dick than y'all than skinny bitches. Okay? And it's not dick that's just we fucking. It's people that want to spend money on us, or that want to be with us and stuff like that, and want to date us. Like, it is so frustrating, this narrative of making it seem like you're a big girl, that like you just are desperate. That is not the case. And it's not gonna be big girls versus slim girls. I'm just saying, speaking for big, like, who the fuck came up with this narrative that if you're big, you're desperate? We are not. We are not. And not just via social media, we're not. Like, we have people approach us. I get approached every day by mostly women. Let me mind you that, too, as of late. Mostly women, but by men, like, trying to date me and things like that. Like, there is no desperation with most big girls. You have seen it yourself, where it's like somebody who is not aesthetically super attractive, but they are either married, or they have a boyfriend, or they have things like that. Like, it is so frustrating when people post these memes and these videos that make it seem as if you're big, like you just desperate and willing to just take on anything. I ain't taking on shit. Let me be clear. I don't give a damn. I have never been that type of person where it's just like you just put up with all types of bullshit. You don't have a voice just because you're a big girl. Who the fuck started this narrative? Like, it is so frustrating. It's just like the person that started the Tommy Hilfiger racist rumor. Whoever started that rumor is the same person that started the whole thing, making it seem as if you're a big girl, that you just desperate and you'll just take on anything. You will not. Like, what the fuck is that? And the frustrating part is, it's a woman that is saying this. It's a slim woman that's saying it. What big girl fucked your nigga? Okay? Like, it is so frustrating and just annoying, because you constantly deal with these narratives when you're a big girl. First off, you constantly deal with narratives when you're a woman to begin with. Let's start there. As a woman, you deal with so many narratives. Especially as a black woman, you deal with so many narratives. Just like black men deal with so many narratives in regards to them just being black and a man. Black women, we deal with so many things. But add on the fact that you're a bigger girl, like, you deal with so many narratives in regards to you. People think that, you're desperate, you have low self-esteem, you stink, like all types of just these negative notations and negative perspectives when you're a bigger girl, like, or even a bigger person in general. Like, if you're a bigger person, you deal with that same insecurity of people making you of wanting to, like, always be clean because you don't want to be a big person that's has an odor or anything like that, when most of the time it's you skinny niggas that stink. serious. I'm so sick of these narratives. Like these narratives where it's like they make you seem as if bigger girls just have to take anything. And I have never seen it so rampant and so blatantly feeling like making it like okay to say this kind of bullshit. Then when social media like started coming about, we do not, like, as a big girl, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm also speaking for the collective. We do not accept bullshit. We do not just take on anything just out of the fact that we are bigger than most people. Like, it is ridiculous. I want to really know who started this narrative. Like, it is ridiculous. Hi, Mikey. But like, I am just so sick and tired. And then it's just like everybody is like sharing this video of this she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty black woman with curly hair, where she's basically saying like men only turn to bigger girls for financial security or stability and things like that. Bitch, where the fuck you get this from? Cause whatever 1, 2, 10, whatever group of men that you polled, they are pussy ass niggas. Cause it's not like that for most big girls. Like, it is not like that. And I'm so sick of that narrative being pushed. It is very frustrating. It is very annoying. We do not accept anything. I'm saying that for the collective of big girls. Like, we do not accept anything. Like, do you know what year it is? It is 2020, 2022. We all are out here getting money, starting businesses, LLCs, sole proprietorships, S corps, all this type of things that like taking care of ourselves, self-care, self-love, all these things. Nobody is wallowing in low self-esteem to where someone can sit up there and take advantage of it. And if we're going to be clear, I have seen more slender women be treated like bullshit as opposed to heavier set women. Like, stop pushing that narrative. Like, I am so sick of that. It is ridiculously ridiculous. And it's so disrespectful. And it's so unfortunate that is a woman, a black woman, that put that shit out there and making it seem like that's the norm. Everybody has been used or abused in a relationship. It does not matter if you are big, skinny, male, female, or whatever. We all have been taken advantage of in some shape or form by somebody that we thought loved us or was trying to pursue us or try to date us or whatever it may be. It does not matter if you're black, white, Asian, tall, skinny, fat, short, whatever. We all have been taken advantage of at some point in our life, because usually before our hearts are broken, we are genuinely good people. So we all are open and susceptible to people harming us or taking advantage of that. But stop pushing this stereotypical narrative of making it seem like because you're a big girl that you just accept any type of bullshit. I'm the first to tell you, I am a big girl, and I probably, like, I don't take not nan amount of bullshit, okay? And it's not because of me being a big girl and trying to break the narrative. It's a part of the fact that that's just me. I'm not putting up with no bullshit, and most people nowadays are not going to sit up here and put up with no bullshit. So it's just truly heartbreaking and frustrating to constantly see people push this narrative of that if you're a big girl, you're going to accept anything and take anything. No, we will not. We will not, and we do not. It is unfortunate, it's disrespectful, and I do not appreciate it. And it's sad that it is a woman pushing this for, more than likely, for views, likes, or whatever. And then you got the motherfuckers, two guys sitting around here cracking jokes like, oh yeah, for financial security, good credit, and she know how to cook. Bitch ass nigga, I barely cook. My niggas cook. Let's be clear. Like, I am just so done with that. I am so sick and tired. Here we go. Bring Tamika on. Okay, because this is ridiculous. Like, I really, really hate this whole narrative of people making it seem like, hello, girl.
Hey, girl.
I had to go on a rant about this shit. Like, I rewatched that video of her saying that, and
I have rewatched it too before I went.
It pissed me off because it's like it's a woman saying it, and then she's next to two guys, and then they're cracking jokes.
Listen, they were cracking jokes like, yeah, because she got to. Like,
because
really?
she got to, or because, oh, and she can cook. I don't know how I can cook, but my niggas cook. Let's be clear.
Okay.
Let's be clear.
Sean cooks for me every day.
Okay, every day. And Chris was too. But any guy I'm with, they cook. But I know how to cook. But my whole thing is, like, I am just so sick of this stereotypical narrative of anybody, just making it seem like, oh, this type of person gets used, or oh, this type of person gets used because of this. But especially with big girls, just making it seem as if we have to accept. We ain't gotta accept shit. You know how many niggas I ran through. Let's be real. And just put to the side. I'd have been proposed to 3 fucking times. Let's be clear on some shit. 3 times in my life I have been proposed to. Okay? I don't have to accept shit, and I didn't have to accept shit. Stop making it seem like if you're a big girl, you're desperate, or you gotta just put up with everything, or like, ew. Like I said, everyone has been used at some point in their life. Everyone has been taken advantage of by somebody that they thought wanted to be in a relationship with them, or loved them, married them, dated them, whatever. It does not matter if you're big, small, skinny, tall, whatever. But this whole narrative with women.
The part that really bothered me, I'm gonna be honest, the part that really bothered me was when she said
That bitch got
big
me.
woman being big screams help. Like, really?
Yeah, like, bitch, it don't scream shit. First of all, let me tell you something. I done put on like what, probably 13 pounds since I got my nigga. Like, he love all this shit. So it don't scream help. Being big don't scream help, bitch. My whole thing is, when it comes to big people, let me go there. When it comes to big people, first off, there's several factors. It could be genetics. It could be just the way their metabolism
Hormones,
is. All types
their
of shit.
health,
Medication, birth
pregnancy.
control, pregnancy, all types of things. But let's take that out of the factor and get into what most people deem it. Laziness, slothfulness, eating, and all that other thing. No, the thing is, when you see someone who is morbidly obese, 9 times out of 10, they are an emotional eater. So my whole thing is, they've clearly been through some type of trauma. They've been through some type of thing that has made them where food is their comfort or their vice. Just because I can see what the fuck their vice is, and you can't see the person that's behind closed door beating the shit out of their wife because they didn't had a horrible childhood or some shit
Or
like that,
doing drugs.
or you don't see the bitch that's beating her kids because she ain't got no help, or she going through bullshit, or she is just fed up with life, or has postpartum depression, but she walking around talking about fat people and shit like that. Just because you could see bigger people scars or their trauma, or the fact that they're dealing with something, and they turn to food, just because you see that, what the fuck gives you the right to fucking pick on somebody because of that?
But let's talk about the emotional eating though, because I don't, unless you're an emotional eater and and you deal with your weight, the fluctuation of your weight, you really don't understand the cycle. Most emotional eaters deal with either anxiety or depression, some type of mental health. So this is a
Yes,
secondary thing to the mental health,
exactly.
right? So you're
Exactly.
literally eating because you're big, and you're big because you're eating, and it's a fucking fast
Exactly.
cycle. It's no different. It's no different than any other drugs, alcohol. It's no different than any of those things, and people don't understand that. The person that might be an alcoholic might be really skinny, but they fucking liver is fucked up because they drink too
Exactly.
much alcohol and they're sick really, but they're fine because they're small. You know what
Right.
I'm
And they're
saying?
not standing out to where you could pick on them. And it's like, it's fucking ridiculous. Obesity, or overweight people, or fat people, let's go there, is the only last stigma where people make it okay to make fun of them. It is the last thing where people universally, most people make it okay to fucking make fun of fat people, and nobody cares. They're like, stop eating, lose weight, whatever. You can't talk about a blind person. You can't talk about a deaf person. You can't talk about somebody that don't have an eye. You can't talk about a disabled person. You can't talk about somebody who has a mental condition. You can't talk about somebody who has a deformity. You can't talk about somebody because of their race, their sex, all types of things. But fat people is the only thing that is last where people make it okay to make fun of them. And I fucking think it's bullshit. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not cool. Okay?
It's
Like,
it's
it's
not.
not cool. Like, I'm sorry. I'm one of the bitches where if you're gonna make fun of me because I'm a bigger bitch, let's throw these hands. Cause you're not gonna talk about me and just feel like that's okay. First fuck of all, like, get it together, because you're just showing that you're insecure about yourself. Maybe not about my aesthetically, but you're dealing with something internally that you're choosing to take out on me because you can see that I'm a bigger person and I might stand out. Fuck you. Go deal with your
That's
trauma. Go
that's
heal
exactly
yourself
it.
and get the fuck on. But don't pick on me, bitch, because you can see what my vice may be. Who the fuck are you?
That's exactly it. Like even still, like even though today was my last day at the bank,
It is. Congratulations.
but what bothered me, like I have customers, like it's okay. So at the bank, it's me and another black girl. Her shape is ideally what most of the shapes are these days. So she has a really small waist, a really big booty, and a nice size boobs, right?
Right.
So the men come in there and they always fight with her. She a cute girl. She not ugly or whatever,
Right.
or she's not unattractive. But the men come in there and they talk to her all the time. And I really think like because we had an issue with one customer, and I really think he didn't like me just because I was plus size, and she literally
Exactly.
walked up and he was all cheesing.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it's just weird to even experience that where people don't even want to talk to you because you have a fupa, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That is so
So
true. That is so true.
so you have these things that you have to deal with. Like even for me, one of my hangups with going on interviews was I really thought that a lot of times that people was judging me just because I was plus size.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we ain't gonna hire that bitch.
Right. No, it's dead ass true. Like it is dead because the thing is visuals are the first thing you know you judge people off of. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Your visual is exactly what you're gonna judge somebody off of off the dribble. It's the first thing that you judge somebody off of, and you can't help it or whatever. But like I said, my whole thing is that like I just feel like it's just a crock of shit. Like it's really a bunch of bullshit. Like who the fuck are you to judge somebody else based on being able to see what they might struggle with or something they might not struggle with and they're okay with?
Yeah, so ultimately, what people need to get out of is to think that big means unhealthy and skinny means healthy. And
Exactly.
we already know that about society because back in the 90s when models were real thin and you could see their ribs, that shit looks scary as fuck.
Yes.
Now they require you to have at least some kind of meat on your bones, right? And
Right.
then not everybody trying to get thick and getting all kind of shit done to their body so that they can look thicker and not so skinny. So don't always think that skinny means healthy or smaller means healthy or
It
you know what I'm
doesn't.
saying?
It
And
doesn't. And it's stupid.
what it really boils down to is really your stomach. I'm gonna be honest.
That's it.
Let's be honest about that because thick thighs, ass, titties, and all that shit, that's a thing now, right?
Like
So
even with my body, like we literally just talked about this yesterday. We literally just talked about my body yesterday. Like the fact that I have put on weight, it's uncomfortable for me, but you have a small waist, you have this, like and that, and it's like I have to look at it from a different angle as opposed to like all I see is tummy. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And stuff like that. And it's like you're inbred with like these insecurity
all
like
these insecurities,
triggers
right?
even that aren't really based on your own clear perception of yourself. They're based on what you see on TV, what you see on Instagram, what people approach you with, things like that and stuff like
Relationships that you've been
that.
in.
Yeah, like even for me at work, like I get called high maintenance all the time because I wear makeup all the time. And because like I like long hair and like you know what I'm saying? The way I carry myself with confidence because being big and when I was in school, like I didn't carry myself that way. So it's like once I built myself up and figured out who I was and built my self-esteem up, it's like I don't give a fuck where I am. I'm gonna fucking walk. Like you're going to see me with step in this confidence. And sometimes that's intimidating. And I feel like with bigger girls who are like that, like us, like confident, a lot of times people just like automatically judge you, like who the fuck you think you are? Why are you confident? Let me pick this out about her and shit like that. It's like, bitch, let me feel myself because even if you're not, I'm going to.
Exactly.
You know, and
Exactly.
it's fucked up. I'm just sick of these stereotypes with plus size women. I really am. I'm done.
I do. I really do because it's it's like men are just, and not even men. It's society. They put this shit out there to make, that's just like when back in the day where it was like black was ugly. Like if you were
Yeah.
dark skinned, you were ugly.
Yeah.
And that's crazy as hell to me because everybody, all shades are pretty. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Everybody got, I don't know. It's just,
And it's crazy, but like even with me, you know, I struggle with how light I am. And it's
right.
because like when I was younger, my stepmom, like she would like always point out the fact that I was the lightest one in the household. Like, oh well, you'll be in the house, like you'll be the house nigga and we'll be out there in the fields. And it's like, what the fuck you want me to do? Like,
But this was
okay. Yeah,
right.
like what do you want me to do? And then it's like I'm feeling a way about myself even as a grown adult based on my complexion being so light because of something somebody else put in ingrained in me. And that's
You
just seems to be the cycle with society. We keep putting
you
all these
know,
insecurities and shit like that out there.
so there are these two documentaries that are out, and I don't remember the name of them, but one is talking about uh black dark skinned women, and one is talking about black light skinned women, and basically their perception and their own journeys of being black and how they fit in and didn't fit in and how they looked at it. It's a really, those documentaries are really interesting. If I find the name of them, I'll throw them
You
up on
gotta
my
send
page.
it to me. Yeah, you gotta send it.
When watching those documentaries, because skin color was never really my issue, it was always being plus
But
size or not.
yeah,
I really want to, I always wanted to do my own documentary and, like, tell the stories and the journeys of the women who had to be plus size, who was once maybe small and then they went plus size, or women who was once plus size who went small, and things like that, and their journeys and their stories, because it is a dialogue that needs to be told, and I don't really think that people really understand or
they don't.
really
Like
even
I
give a fuck. I'm gonna be
like
honest.
like even me, like I think we were supposed to do a live about that where I talked about that. Like,
Yeah.
cause like it was a clusterfuck. Like me going from being super heavy most of my life to like the size that I am now and the way I look now, like the way people treat you when you are pretty is nuts. Like you could say a lot of shit, you could do a lot of shit, like you could like
You get
it
away with all that shit.
it's a complete 360 and it's like kind of like daunting for me too. I talked to one of my aunts about this too. It's daunting for me too because it's like what the fuck was wrong with me then when I was bigger, like you know what I'm saying. And it wasn't shit wrong with me for myself, it was just like people treat you differently if you're pretty and people treat you differently if you're big,
Mhm.
and it's fucked up. Like
It is.
we could only gonna do that because I want to talk on that because like it's crazy, like
Let's
it's
talk now. Let's talk about it
okay,
now.
like
We can
let me say what.
calm
Let me say. Okay, so like I said earlier, like I'm 5'9", 5'10", and like right now I'm like 220 pounds. So it's like I'm a chunky girl, but like my highest weight, I was like over 400 pounds. Like I was big. Like I was big. You know what I'm saying? So when I was super big, I would always get, oh, you got a pretty face, or oh, this and that, and you got a beautiful skin and stuff like that.
You're cute to be a big girl.
You're cute to be a big girl.
Ooh,
So
that
I
one
would get,
burns a hole in my
yes,
soul, baby.
yes, I
Ooh,
would
I
get that.
hate that phrase.
It's so it burns my ass, and I would get that all the time. Like you're cool to be a cute girl or a big girl, or you have a great personality, that type of shit. And then the dreaded, you look like your dad, and shit like that. And like me now, I get the like, oh, you look like your mom, and it's like, what the fuck, like you know what I'm saying? And I knew it was based on the fact that I was big and stuff like that. So for me to have lost like over 200 pounds and stuff like that, and to like be now considered aesthetically more appealing,
Hmm.
and seeing the way people treat me is crazy. Like it's a struggle to a certain extent too at times too, because it's like, why the fuck couldn't y'all accept me back then? It's a
Right.
struggle too because now I also get the reversal of that, where people that were cool with me when I was super big and the ugly one are now like treat me like shit because they feel as if I think differently of myself. And I do think differently of myself. I have more self-esteem and self-love, and I have boundaries. Let's go there. But it does not mean that I think I'm better than anybody because I now look different. But every time I get into it with somebody who has been close with me, you know, the people I'm talking about, like
Mm-hmm.
that somehow gets segue into the conversation of me being different now. And it's like, I'm not different as far as who I was. I have always been this person. Problem is that you see me as different. I
Yes.
don't like you see me as different. I'm no longer the ugly girl, like super ugly girl.
So for me, I would have to say, like, when I was younger, I was small and I thought I was big, and I mentioned this in my life that I was bulimic for about a decade.
Right.
So, and when I say bulimic, I need y'all to understand if y'all never experienced bulimia before, I'm going to explain what bulimia is. It is you basically eating or gorging food and then you're throwing it up. That's what that is. And I used to have it down to a science to where I never had to stick nothing down my throat. Like I would literally mentally convince myself that I was sick and would throw up, and nobody knew. Like nobody in my family knew. Nobody knew. Like I think my boyfriend at the time knew, and that was it. And he really didn't know because I didn't even tell him. Like that shit was real serious. I never had to be hospitalized or anything like that, but I did this for a long time. So what happened was at a point where I actually stopped throwing up, I then gained weight. I was also going to college. I was a freshman in college, so I gained my freshman 20, and then I kept gaining weight after that because I was in a stressful ass relationship. What I would get is what people would ask me, "You were so pretty when you were in high school. What happened?"
Right. Like what the
So,
fuck is that?
I'm not pretty before that. Like that, it's a really a mental fuck, and it just adds on to the bullshit that you are already dealing with your body image and the body dysmorphia that you're experiencing. Like it adds on to the bullshit. So now you gonna get these curves, baby.
Period. Period. And for me, it was like most of my trauma came from like middle school and high school, like seventh grade and on. That's when I started getting big. But it also came from like my family, like they didn't deal with me. You know, I had family members like, well, like my stepmom, she'd be like, why y'all don't hang out with Chrissy or have her come hang out with you? And they'd be like, well, look at her. And it's like, now it's like, what the fuck? Like, oh, you're a loner, you don't hang out with us, or you don't like, bitch, I remember what y'all said and did. Like, I was there.
Right. Now you want to hang out with me
Yeah.
because I'm
Or
considered
you
to
want
be
to make it
cute
seem
now.
like I don't want to hang out with y'all because of me for whatever reason, or because I think I'm better or I'm different or whatever. No, I don't want to hang out with y'all because I tried being cool with y'all and be friends with y'all and building a relationship with y'all, and y'all shitted on me. So what the fuck is the point of me as an adult now trying to build any type of shit with motherfuckers that didn't accept me at any point in my life? It's not that I'm a loner or introvert. It's like y'all niggas is hoes. Like that
Pretty
was some
much.
hoe ass shit.
That was some whole ass shit.
That was some whole ass shit. Like motherfuckers be killing me with that. You already know the people I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
girl.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm talking about
I
all
just
of them. I'm talking about all of them. All right, let's get off here. It's like 11:30. I don't want to keep you up and stuff, and I want to get in this house because there's some weird shit going on. I ain't got time for it. I ain't got my gun out here.
we're going to have.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I will. Yeah. So stop presuming that big girls will do anything. We will not. Stop presuming that big girls promoting the stereotype that big girls are desperate. We are not. And stop promoting as people that big girls are just susceptible to being used as opposed to skinnier girls like they just living fancy free. No, it's more of you bitches. Y'all bitches getting fucked over too. Like stop promoting that. And man, stop laughing at that shit. That shit is not funny. Like it's really lame. That part is what triggered me, is them just laughing about. Like, bitch, you're not even a big girl. Who? What chunky girl fucked your nigga?
That's the one right there.
Whatever. Let me get off of here. All right.
That's the one. That's the
That is
one.
the
That's
really
the
what it
one.
be. That's really what it be. The fuck wrong with you? All right, let me stop. Bye, y'all.
Okay.
Bye.